It's week 3 of the National Football League, and we're in for a show from Anthony Richardson. Solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Colts and the Ravens, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 24.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's week 3 and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So here come the Colts to take over for the first time, and leading the way is a number 4 pick in the draft out of Florida. Here's Anthony Richardson.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes, because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Now the NFL's leading rusher 2021, Jonathan Taylor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Hey, look at this Baltimore defense. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Second down, another run with Taylor. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. Well, this defense for the Ravens, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Haven't been a corner that's worth the sum yet, but ever admits to worrying about man coverage. Got the play there, breaking that pass up.
On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
He's brought down there by Kenny Moore.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5. They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Steps away. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a 1st down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards. Now he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a 1st down.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with a fullback. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Oh, they needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Right side, there's Likely with it. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on fourth. They'll look to throw again. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Ravens' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Taylor. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Richardson out of the shotgun. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 1. They'll run with the former Bill, Zach Moss. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Waste of time.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the option left, Richardson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
And Taylor going to pick up the Colts first down as he'll get this down to the 23.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. That right there, Charles, I think is a prime example of what they're scared of. They said, yeah, you can run. We know you can take off, but be smart. He got hit pretty hard there.
A lot of these young quarterbacks, they like to tell us that they become running backs when they take off. But they have to remember, at all times, they're quarterbacks. Protect yourself. Slide. Get out of bounds. Don't take that kind of hit.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Taylor will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays. They also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit, because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys are good.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay get behind the line.
2nd and 16 at the 34-yard line.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he will have the Ravens 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
Dobbins with a typical strong run, and 3 years in, you still feel like you haven't seen all he can be as a pro. Injuries wiped out 2021 and part of 2022. But when he's out there and healthy, he can be electric.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes. Because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Colts' 22-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Hill will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the third quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Tucker now to add the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive goes bad plays. And the end result was a touchdown run by Justice Hill. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland. And it's the Titans with the lead in the second quarter of play. Big Derrick Henry with a couple of touchdown runs. From there, we take the trip across Lake Erie to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Mac Hollins, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Jordan Love with a couple of touchdown tosses. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Come on.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
A good run there on right tackle. In old school NFL football, the right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back to throw now on first down. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Flowers shows here that he is a student of the craft whose mentality is simply, I'm going to take the football away from defenders. A tenacious player and almost a clone of Steve Smith Sr., somebody else who had some really good seasons in Baltimore.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Edwards is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2nd and 5. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because they don't get some kind of points here. That next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. Now Richardson. Quick throw there is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Kyle Hamilton running up from his safety spot and earning the sack. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much frustration in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. His throw incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Indy set to go on offense once more. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. In motion, the tight end. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Up the middle, it's Edwards. Room here to run. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Well, it's kind of fitting. A couple days ago when we met with him, I said, what is it about your running game that's so effective? He said, I like to tag myself as elusive. He was pretty elusive right there.
And his teammates appreciate that because they know they don't have to hold their blocks for very long. As one of them told us, if I just breathe some bad breath on the guy in front of me, that's all I need to do, and he's gone.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
They go play action here on 1st down. There's Flowers. He's got it. Touchdown, Ravens. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over down the So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Second down, here's Richardson. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That third down conversion good for 23.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now it's Richardson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
First down, Indianapolis.
Richardson. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
13 yards. First down, Colts.
On first down, Richardson. That complete to Downs. And they'll get this down to the 10. And quickly they get to the line. And Richardson looks to throw once more. That is going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. Here's another first and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. Now Richardson back to throw it. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Josh Downs with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll run with Dobbins, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. On second down, it's Edwards. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout called for by the defense. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. They'll look to throw on third and goal. The quick slant caught, and in for the Ravens touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens are closing in on a third straight victory to start the campaign. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Tucker with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Richardson looking to throw. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They go play action with Richardson. That is caught. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. First and 10, it's Richardson.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Back to the air with Richardson. Wide open receiver complete. And only picked up. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on.
Come on. Ready.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Now a 2nd and 10. Going again on the ground here with Hill. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Baltimore, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles...